Mornings with Kitten. Hello, Kitten. Bathroom time. Yes. Oh, sorry. That's what you get. Hello, Kitten. Yeah, you're a good boy. I just wanted to recount the story of how my family came across a small kitten abandoned by a cat who became something so special to my family. My mother used to work for a company called ServiceNet, and she had a client who was blind, and he had this habit of picking up stray humans. That's what I like to call. Um, and they had a kitten, and they used to use the kitten to encourage people to give them money. They would go out and beg, and they had a kitten, and they were staying with this client of my mother's, and uh, they were eating him out of house and home because they would provide a stipend of supplies, food and whatnot, because that's what their job was. They took care of people and helped them and provided them with food and shelter and whatnot. Um, well, the people, they were kicked out and they left the kitten behind, and my mother had been going there and checking on, you know, doing her job, and she had been checking on the fellow in question. I won't name him, but he has long since passed as well because this was 14 years ago. He had his own cat, but then she would also check on this kitten, and one day she went over there. She couldn't find the kitten, and she thought, well, maybe the people had returned and picked up their kitten, but they had not, um, because she found him in the refrigerator. Apparently, while this person had been wandering around his house, and he was scarcely aware that there was a kitten. He knew he had his own cat, but he wasn't really aware of this kitten. The kitten had somehow made its way into the refrigerator. And my mother thought better of it, leaving the kitten there. She thought, well, he probably won't survive. So she took him to my house. Um, I wasn't living there at the time. But her intent was to, to deal with this kitten later, find it at home, bring it to a shelter, whatever. Of course, my father had instantly fallen in love with this kitten, and he named the cat Inky. And Inky was actually named after a cat that um, that my grandparents, when they were raising my father was actually a state child. He was adopted at the age of 14, and they had a cat there who, well, actually, no, this is years later after my father and my mother had gotten married, and they had me, and they were pregnant with my mother was pregnant with me, and when they would go to where my grandfather used to live, obviously he didn't live there anymore because he's married, and they were living on their own. They had a black cat named Inky, and that cat used to show great interest in me when I was inside my mother. So, and would would lay on me, and I would always react. So they named my Inky after Inky. So it was kind of a legacy name. And of course, he stayed, and he was here for 14 years. until yesterday when he I forget what kind of tumor they called it, but we took him to the a specialist, and they had sedated him for an examination where they could visually see what was going on with his esophagus, because he was wheezing and he wasn't eating, and it was obvious that there's something wrong. X-rays had showed a mass, and so they determined that he wasn't really breathing very easily, and he just wasn't able to get food past this blockage, this mass, this cancerous tumor, and that his quality of life was going to diminish greatly. He was essentially just kind of starved to death. So they gave us the choice, and I saw the I don't know what the word is, but it was the right thing to do. I saw that. It was apparent. It was the most merciful thing I could do for Inky, and now I'm alone for the time being. We are going to adopt another cat. I don't know if it's going to be another black cat, but I've fallen in love with black cats. Obviously, Inky was special, so we're not trying to replace Inky. That's not possible. He was the sweetest, kindest, most loving, lovable, quiet. He was a special cat. He didn't have a bad habit. He didn't have a mean bone in his body. The only thing he used to do is sometimes when I'd be cuddling him, if I was holding him and I'd get his head near my head after long enough, he'd give me chomps. He would chomp me on the head. He wouldn't hurt me. I mean, I felt it, but that was just his way of showing that he loved me, and he definitely loved me, and I loved him. I was his, and he was mine. Yeah, he was my best friend, my best buddy. Love him so much. But now I have to move on, and that's the point of this video, is to kind of help out with that, and I'm gonna try to get some sleep.